everyone. I hope traders and investors alike had a green day today. I hope that investors are hedged for this pullback. I'm going to be going over some evening star patterns, some other patterns in the video tomorrow on the trading list, the oscillators and all that. There's some really interesting stuff. There's some changes today. And the put the call and the oscillators and some interesting candle patterns we need to take a look at. Want to keep this video about recap, and then we're going to go over some things with some options to help you better understand and maybe even find some of the calls that we're calling. So this is the SPY. We were watching this 392 area, and we did take it out, tried to hold above it, but you still got this pre-market level down here. Even if you would have took this trade, you need to be aware about these levels. And a previous level can definitely, hold you up. This is why I think pre-market levels are important. A lot of traders, recommend taking them off. I recommend turning them on and off, looking for gaps and stuff. But the pre-market levels for me are huge. You got a double top right here. The bottom of this would have been your neckline. Breaking below that, bearish. You went right through this level. I mean, it cut right through that 387 level like it was butter. And you can see this level has been respected a few days ago, on that big move up, which we absolutely took back today. Took that whole move back. Come right down to this gap. Filled part of the gap. This is what's left of it. But you can see if you missed this initial move, I got a trade. I got a few trades in. Got one in this area. Even took one. I just bought one contract at the end of the day and closed it for a simple 4%. Just honestly, I know this trader discipline. This was just me trying to work off some steam of watching all this down here. I kept waiting for, there was a lot of money to be made through here, but when we started getting down here, I was looking for a reversal, them to come in and run stops on the shorts, but they just let the shorts hang out and be comfortable. They didn't even try to cover. I was expecting some cover in here. Didn't lose any money trying to trade because the setups were never there. We never went in and bought calls. Obviously, we never got the proper setup. Very close a couple times there, but never got the setup, so there was no reason to go in for calls at the end of the day. I'm sure a lot of traders did and probably got stopped out. Well, they could be trying to hold overnight. Consumer sentiment was the lowest since like 2011. Tomorrow's GPD. This is a big number. We've been talking about it a lot. And I don't even want to call it what the market's looking for. They could actually say we're into recession, and the market may look at that as in if we're going into recession, that's going to cut back on the inflation numbers or the inflationary side of things, and they may actually run the market up on bad news. You really never know what this market is expecting. Textbook is they would sell off on bad news, so they could sell off either way. A lot of people were calling for the lows being in and all that. We simply said bull trap. Most likely, we had some big levels to clear. We couldn't take them out. We tested them today and got some serious rejection. We also want to go over some option stuff in this video as well towards the end. But make sure you catch tomorrow morning's video on the oscillators and stuff. So let's take a look at Oxy. Oxy was on the radar today due to energy and crude pushing and Buffett buying. We watch other ones as well, but Oxy was definitely on the radar. Strong push at open, but it ended up giving it back. This 6160 level is a big level, so above that, we knew it was safe to go in for calls. Breaking back below that level, you could definitely look for shorts. You can even see it tested here at the end of the day and struggling back above it and below it. But it made a nice move at open. Got a trade on some Tesla calls at open as well. No, I'm sorry. I actually traded Tesla puts. I didn't trade any Tesla calls at all today. Got this nice pullback here and, flagged right here. I actually took a trade inside of here, the break below. This 200, I traded that in that area. Got a 10% scalp. Believe was the break below the no, I got a small scalp down here below the 71103 level, but you can see how the market reacts to our levels right there. This is why we're constantly calling these levels. But this offered several different trades. You can see the flags into it. We didn't even take or get the opportunity to push up and set in that double top there. Boeing was strong at market open as well. Made a really nice push here. 140.49, took that level right out. Took out the previous high from the previous day up here. Nice push up. Problem is it fizzled out when it got up here. It was a real strong move at open. Seeing all these wicks, so this would have been a scalpable move up, but the actual play would have come in with puts here. You can see confirm close below the 9. You can take that trade. You're looking to take profits at the 20. Right here, it went right through it, pushed up. Right there is where you probably take profits. You can get ready to reload for another shot down. It went up, tested, couldn't take it out, then pulled back. But when you see moves like that, everybody's trying to continue to catch that upside. Sometimes, if you can change that way of thinking and look for proper signals, like a lot of wicks like that, and of course the 1-minute chart as well. But that may help. You may start looking at the stock market, viewing some of these setups in a different light, and be able to start catching some short plays off a move like that, a big move like that, like an epic flush is what I like to call them. Some of the banks were strong as well. Morgan Stanley actually is doing a buyback, and I don't think it's almost like they sold right off on it. Some of the other banks seem to have been stronger, at least at market open. You can see a better push out of Wells Fargo, but it really didn't do as well as I thought it did, honestly. I was focusing on the SPY and Tesla for the better part of the day. Yeah, Bank of America, it had a nice push at market open, put in a top up here, then pulled back. So let's go back. We spent enough time talking about that. Let's go back and let's look at the SPY and let's talk about some options here. So today we've seen some heavy flow come in. So basically, above $1 million, the get me in now type coach plays had 16 orders come in over $1 million. Big puts, like I say, above ask. Sweeps, these are get me in now type plays. All 16 orders were bearish. And the heaviest is coming in for one of the heaviest is 364s for the 18th. So let's go look at the 364s for the 18th. Let's go down here. Let's hit options. Remember, I all my orders are done over the phone. Of course, I watch the screens, but I actually trade off my phone. I'm more comfortable that way. So I do not come in this options table every day or anything. So bear with me. So let's go. So we are on the 18th here right now. Let's go to 364. And we can see right here. So 364 puts, and that's exactly what we have for 819. All right, so you can see right here, we had a $9 million order come in for this strike. That's a large order. And you can see, definitely want to recheck it in the morning. I like checking option data to give them as much time as they need to get this stuff updated properly. Definitely recheck this in the morning, but you can see the heavy flow. So you got 32,000 contracts coming in there, or that's the volume traded. So if you look at this order, you still have 2,654 contracts sitting in, but look at your volume. So that's an open interest order. This is basically what that means is you have a lot more contracts being traded than what you have that are sitting open. So that's a hot strike. That's a strike that's getting a lot of flow coming into it. That's a pretty bearish order. So we're looking at That one's not as heavy as, look, this is 19,000 at 365, but look at the 370s. You got 58,000 sitting in there. And we seen a order come in, a couple orders come in for this strike as well, but some of these were already sitting there. I didn't see that much flow into that strike today. We also seen IWM. Let's go to IWM. And I only set it. I come in here before and set it so I could see 40 strikes. But if you go back, I mean, there's big flow, a lot deeper in the money. But some that's probably tied to stock as well, which means picking up shares, or could be deep hedging for some reason judged off the delta. We have no idea why they open these orders. But orders you're interested in, this will help. When we're calling them, this will help give you an idea of what's going on in that strike. So we got the 164s for 715. And they're rolling a lot of this stuff out of them 715 strikes that they were sitting in for the SPY. But you can see right here, you got 16,000 orders. This was a big order. This was a 1 or a 5. There was only 2 orders coming over $1 million. One was a little over $1 million. The other one was $5 million for the IWM. But you can see right here, the 63's got 43,000. So there's a lot of people. Look down here, 160, 95,000. There's a lot of people bearish. You got the 170s. You have 129,000 sitting in that strike. So there's a lot of people thinking on the bearish side of the market. But there's several different ways that you can come in here and go through the data in the morning. Wait as long as you can just to make sure everything's updated. But go through the data in the morning before market open and just get an idea of some of the orders that stuck. So when we're calling big orders, maybe you could be interested in, and you want to see if it's still open the next morning. So basically, this is what I'm doing. So the next morning, when you guys hear me rambling off all these numbers about different strikes and what uh, overall bullish, overall bearish, this is basically what I'm doing, is just running through the option table. Uh, of course, I have all the other assets as well with the option flows and stuff, but it all comes down to what's going on inside of this options table. Sometimes you can see orders coming in. If you see the open interest drop, there's a good chance that they're actually selling calls instead of, like, if you're looking at, or puts, since we're looking at puts, it's a good chance that they're buying puts, which is bullish. But there's just a lot of different things, and we'll go into more detail, in future videos about the option flow and different ways to use it, in your favor. But literally, just at the end of the day and the next morning, just going through and seeing, taking notes of what strikes are heavy. Maybe at the end of the day, you may be curious of how many of those 163s closed tomorrow. At the close of tomorrow, what's the open interest on it then? Uh, maybe these are some things that can help you in your trading and in your analysis. So, you may be interested in the IWM. You may think it's going to go down, and it may help you just knowing where uh, some of these people are hitting, if they're staying in their trades, if they're closing their trades. So that'll help you understand. So, we don't know the intentions of them opening that trade, and we see scalps back to back. There's times if I set the screens up right, I can literally see a call, orders coming in, and I can see them being filled. So it's all about the changing of your open interest. Whether if we see heavy call flow and the has a very low open interest compared to what we seen coming in, then that those calls or puts, that particular option is closed for whatever reason, whether they took a beating on it, or maybe they got the move that they were expecting. So if they were expecting it to pull back, it kind of gives you an idea that they got the move that they were expecting, and that's why they closed the order, or they could have just been totally wrong. But there's a lot of ways that you can use that information. Stay open-minded about it, and put your imagination to work, and you can see several different ways that you can use that information to help you in your analysis. I hope everybody has a good night. We will definitely do more videos on this. Um, if you're interested in the live market commentary, check us out in the Discord. We have a free Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, and hope to see you in the trading room. Have a good night, everyone.